name is Anthony, and welcome so much to Accountant. Here you will learn web design, you will learn digital marketing, you will learn graphic design and video editing. But in this particular one, I want to teach you how to code. So we are going to be covering internal CSS. So with internal CSS, you have two files. You have the HTML file and the CSS file, all within one file. I'll be explaining that in class. So let's get into it. What we did, let me just find the part we did. Looks like I deleted what we did. Okay, so let me just do something here. That is the activation part. And then let's say this is introduction to HTML. And then in here we have a h1 tag, introduction to HTML. Then under it we have a paragraph. Under it we have a paragraph. So let's say this paragraph is something like this is a heading 1. And then under it we have a h2. So instead of writing something fresh, I'm just going to copy this here. And then this one, I'll just copy it like this. Then I add it under a paragraph. Okay. Like that. So assuming I'm working on only this tool, so internal CSS is whereby you just come here after the heading tag here, and then you add style like that, and then you start working. Like you write h1 and then you open the curly brackets, and then inside the h1, that's where you now specify what you want. That this, you now do the background if you want to do the background. Like that, and then you do font family, and then you do the font size, and then you do margin, also do padding, like that. So that is for the heading. Assuming we still want to do that the same for h2, we just add a comma here, and then we do h2. And then if you want to do the same for paragraphs, just add a p tag here, then you open the curly brackets like that, and then you copy these ones, then you paste them under paragraph. But now we will be changing some stuff here. We can even say we want to change the color of this one. Just come in here and say we want to make it black, and then the text color, we want to make the text color white. Just use the slider. This one is called the color picker. When you move on this one, it comes, so you can just slide and pick any kind of color that you want. So but for me, I want white for that particular one. So now when you open to see what you've done, this is what you will have. So this is what we call internal CSS. So internal CSS is where you are styling using just the same HTML file. Your HTML is here, and then your CSS is here. So this is the styling that I normally use. when I'm creating websites using coding, I use the internal CSS. But there is another tedious one, which is called external CSS, whereby you have one HTML file, and then you create a different CSS file, and then you link between the HTML and the CSS, and then after linking, now you do your CSS in the CSS file, and then HTML in the HTML file, and then you link the two. It's still going to work, but now this time around you don't have HTML and CSS together. You have HTML in a different file, and then you have CSS in a different file. So I'm just going to do that. So first I'm going to copy all of this and cut them like that, so that we don't have any styling here. So I'm going to come here and then create a new file, then just call it introduction.css. so this is a CSS file. So when you open the CSS file, because it is CSS, I've just pasted. I had not copied. I had not pasted, so I've just pasted. So now here, you do it like this. You just paste. I've just removed from the HTML. Now I'm pasted in the CSS. Now what I'm going to do is now link the CSS and the HTML together. So what I'm going to do is inside the heading tag, that's where the linking happens after this title. So enter, and then I write link, then I press enter. So here under href, that's where I write the name of that HTML file. Just start writing and then pick it like that. So once you pick it like that, it has linked the HTML and the CSS. So when you want to open, you don't open here in the CSS. When you want to open in the browser, you go back to the HTML file and then you click open. So it has not picked some styles, so I'm going to go back to the VS Code and change some stuff here. I'm going to remove this one style, that. Or alternatively, if it gives you headache, and just paste, and then, or maybe we start and do H1 like that. We just did color. The color was black, and then the background color was brown, and then we had a margin of 20. We also had a padding. We had a padding of 20. And then we also had text align, center. Then we had font family and font size. Font family, we had this one, and then we had font size. Font size was 20 px. So we're still going to add here H2. We just add a comma and then we add H2 there. And then we are going to add the paragraph. So it's going to activate the curly brackets and open it. So the paragraph will be, the stylings for the paragraph will just be the same. The only thing we're going to change is the color and the background color. So we just copy these ones and paste them under paragraph. And now what we are going to change is the background color of the paragraph, which changes to black. Just use this one, you slide things around, then you click here, it's going to open here, you slide this one to white, like that. So ensure that everything you've done, once you've finished coding, here at the top here is not red. If it is red, it means there are errors. Let me show you what I mean. Okay. Sometimes when you're coding, you realize, you see that it has now changed the color to red. It tells you that there is an error. You see it writes error 1, means there is an error. If you see something like this, it is not going to reflect properly. So you have to ensure that everything is running properly. This one is white. The color of this introduction.css, or maybe whatever name you give it. If you've given it shoe.css or maybe clothing.css, ensure it is white, not red. If you make a mistake, like maybe let's say you've added some extra spaces, you've made an error here, you've added a full stop instead of adding a semicolon, it will change to red. It will tell you there is an error there. So mine is okay. Now when I come back to HTML and open, you see mine now. This is what I have. Now that is what external CSS is. You have to create a different HTML file and a different CSS file, and then you link them together. After you link them together using this tag here, link, and then you do your HTML inside the HTML one, and then your CSS inside the CSS, and then you ensure you link them together. And then when you want to see your changes, you come here, opening browser, you open the HTML file. So this is the external CSS, but internal CSS I showed you, you just come here after the end of the heading tag, you open it like that, and then you add the word style, and then you copy these codes, or maybe you type them, you add them there, and then you open, you will see your changes. So those are the two types of CSS, internal CSS and external CSS.
Just we've covered two elements. We've covered internal CSS, we've covered external CSS. Now we're going to talk about divisions inside CSS. So with divisions, these are used when we are styling elements differently. Let's say we have like 5 paragraphs within our website, and we want to style paragraph 1 differently from paragraph 2 and differently from paragraph 3, like that. We're going to use divisions. So I'm going to be touching on division class inside this class.
Now I want us now to cover something we call divisions inside CSS. By divisions I mean, let me explain using this website here. I have this paragraph here, and I also have this paragraph here. Assuming I want to give this paragraph color red, and the color red that I give this paragraph, I don't want any other paragraph to have that color. I only want this one to be color red, but I don't want this one to be color red. I want it to be normal, like black. How am I going to achieve that? So that's where now divisions come in. Divisions is where you use divisions when you want to style something differently. You use a division when you want to style something differently. Elements that are, let's say you have a paragraph that have similar elements that is not one element. We are using the same tag for so many elements. Like let's say we have paragraphs, like everything here is paragraph. Upper, these ones are paragraph, and we want to style this second paragraph differently. If we want to style this second paragraph differently, upper, what we are going to do is we will use a division, and then we separate this one from any other paragraph so that we can give this one a special color or special feature. Maybe we can do italics with it. Like you see this one here, this one is italicized. If we want to give it a different something, we have to use a division so that it comes out differently than the others. So for this, I'm going to use this particular part. I'm just going to pick some few things here. I'm just going to pick this heading, and then this paragraph, this heading, and this paragraph. and then I'm going to go down here and I'm going to pick 1, 2, 3 like this heading, and then I'm going to pick this particular paragraph. So we are going to use this exact same colors and exact same the way things have been animated here and the way they have been styled to illustrate what divisions are. So I'm just going in and I'm going to create a different file because I don't want to mix what we have done here and what I'm going to show you. I've already shown you internal and external CSS. So now I am going to continue with internal CSS because that is how I normally code the website. But I've just shown you the internal and external types so that you can understand how different they are. So I'm going to share with you this class. I always record the classes. So I'm going to clip them and then I will share them with you so that you can be able to go through them at your own free time, and then you can understand further the steps that we have followed. So now I am going to go and create a new file here. I'm going to create a new file here, and then I am going to call this divisions. Divisions.html. Divisions.html. So everything starts with HTML, even if it is divisions in CSS, it has to start with HTML because that's where the magic of adding information happens. So divisions in HTML, you just need to know what you're doing. So it is, you're doing divisions. Just open your mind, you'll be able to see what I'm trying to do. So now we are going to go to the website and then we are going to pick the information. So this is heading 2. Normally heading 1, it is only 1. This is the heading 1 here, and then all the others are heading 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like that. You only have one heading 1 on a paragraph because of SEO purposes. So this is H2. I'm going to paste it inside there, and then under it I have a paragraph. So I'm just going to, now we have graduated from just thinking of things, now we are doing real websites. So this is a live website we are using here. Yeah, so like that, we'll paste our paragraph in there. At the end of that, we're going to do a different H2 again. We're going to pick this one, how you can reach us, and then we're going to paste it under H2, and then we're going to do a paragraph. There is a paragraph under it. This is the paragraph. This is the paragraph, and then we are going to paste it in there. At the end of the paragraph, so I'm still just entering information. I've not started styling, so I'm still just entering information. I want to enter some tangible information before we can start working. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to copy this subheading and paste it inside my styling. So it is a H2 also well. So that is what I have there. And then under it I have 3 paragraphs. So I have 3 paragraphs. So I'm going to copy the first paragraph, this one here, like that. I'm going to paste it in here. I'm going to go to the next paragraph, copy it, then can paste it in here. And then I'm going to go to the very end of this paragraph and then paste the last paragraph that we want to use, this one here. So I have entered all my information. I've entered all the information that I wanted to use. So let me do the simple styling first so that we have the page as it is before I can illustrate what divisions are. Let me do the stylings the way the website is looking. Yes, so this is HTML without any styling. So now we want to add the stylings before we can even have any colors on it and all of that stuff. So we're just going to go to the styling part. So okay, now we're going to look at these colors here. So if you want the exact same colors as hapa, there are so many softwares that can help you pick the color codes. So you can use a software like Canva, or you can use a software, mostly I use Canva, to get the color codes of a particular website. If a client has given me something and I want to get the exact color codes that I'm going to use for the website, maybe amekutumia an image that has colors that they use. So I'm going to pick a screenshot of this particular part of the website, and then I'm going to paste it in Canva, and then Canva is going to give me the color codes. And then I will write the color codes down so that I can use them during my styling. So I'm going to pick the screenshot here. Screenshots, you do screenshots using the snipping tool. So let me just go stepwise. Let me not use the shortcut. Let me go stepwise. I'm going to go open the start button there, and then I'm going to search under apps. There is an app on your computer. Every computer has this. It's called the snipping tool. So I'm just going to click open. Once it opens, I'm going to click on new. Brings a window like this, and then I'm just going to select a part, just a small part. So it's going to give me this screenshot. Then I'm going to minimize the window, and then I'm going to go to my Google browser. Then I'm going to search canva.com. Canva is free. If you have an email address, you can get access to Canva. You just search canva.com and then you log in. It will take you to this particular place. You don't have to do this, but I'm just doing this to get the exact color codes I normally use. Then I'm going to go to create. I'm going to pick any dimensions, just any dimensions, and then I can paste my image. So I'm going to paste my image there. So once I paste my image, I'm going to go to this part here. So Canva is going to give me the exact colors. You see, like here, it has already given me the exact color codes. So once you have the codes, now you are set. Now you move away from Canva. Now it has already helped you do whatever you wanted it to do. Now you go back to your code. Now you will be moving between the website and seeing which color that website has, and then you will be using it to do your styling. So like we will start from here. It will tell us which color is this one, and then we will move. But before that, we have a body text, body, the color of the body, everything, like the whole page has a particular color, which is that white one, but it's not really pure white. It's close to white and close to also between white and gray, this color here. So we are going to style the body first. So which styling do you want? Do you want us to use internal or external? Hello?
Leo laptop yetu haipati kureact. Let's use external.
Okay.
Let's use external.
So now with the external, we are going to create a CSS file here called division.css. Division.css. Then we enter it like that. Then you come back to the HTML version, and then we link. We now want to link between the HTML and the CSS. So inside the heading tag is where the linking happens. So after the title tag, you're going to enter link like that. And then inside the quotation marks for href, we're going to write the division.css like that. So we have already linked it. Once you link, now you move to the CSS and you start styling. So here you don't activate the HTML tags again. you are inside the CSS file. You don't do activation of HTML tags. You just start styling. But now, before you start styling, you have to see what you are styling. We want to style the H2. So come here and then write H2. But first, before that, we want to style the body. So let us style first the body, because we want the color of the body. So we are using the codes now. We will use the white code the code for color white. Canva was calling it light red.
Okay.
I've written those colors down so that we can get the exact colors that were there. And then that's the body. In the body, we are only interested in the body color. After that, we are going to move to the heading 2, like that. So the heading 2, the color of the heading 2 was orange. So we are going to use orange hash. We are going to do hash F68919. That is it. And then now we are going to do, let us do paragraphs. We will be adding those elements as we progress. Tutakuwa tunarudi tukiangalia how it is looking, and then we add the element. So the color of the paragraphs is the black one. So we're going to do the code for the black one. So it's going to be hash 170D02. So we are finished with those colors. Now let us see how the website is looking, and then we will add in all the others. Okay, now there is something with the fonts. We have not added in the fonts, and then the alignment, everything is centered. So we're going to go and do centering. We're going to center. Let us center the H2. Text align. So we're going to do center the text align. The same to the paragraph. Same to the paragraph, we're going to do text align, and then we do center. Remember, we have so many paragraphs, but we're just using one tag because they're using the same tag. So they will be styled like that. And then the next one, the font, I did not tell you the font. The font of that website is called Roboto. The font family is called Roboto. So I'm using Roboto. I'm using Roboto font like that. The website is using Roboto. And then the font size is 26 for the H2. And then the font size, font family for the text is also Roboto. That, and then the font size is 18 px. Then we have something we call line height. Line height is 1.5 em. I will explain that as we progress. So let's open in browser and see what we have got up to now. Okay, it's giving us something different with this one. It's giving us something a lot different with this one, but it has given us a specimen of what we want. It has given us a specimen of what we are looking for, the colors and how the website is looking. But now what we are interested in is this one here. This one here, because we want to use divisions for this one here. Because remember, this is how it looks. Let's go back and see. This is how it looks. The background, it has a background of this color, and then it has this color as the text color. So we are going to, because it is still a heading 2, and we still have others up here, So we are going to style this one differently. This one. So we're going to go to the VS Code, and then I'm going to show you where now the division comes in. So we're going to come here, and then you add space, and then you write class. Like that. When you write class, we're going to give it class. Let us call it. Special. Yeah, let us just call it H2 special, but we don't add any spacing. You can give it any name, but here I just chose to give it H2 special. So I'm going to go to my CSS, and then I want to style that one in a special manner the way it is. So remember, it is a heading 2, but it is a division. So I'm going to, when you are doing a division, you style a division, but we have different types of division as well. We have division class, and we have division ID, div class and div ID, division class and division ID. So here we are using just division class. So the style will be dot, and then the name of that particular one was H2 special. Make sure that you're looking and it is exact same name. You can even copy so that you can have the exact same one when you're coming here. So you just paste it like here, so you can have the exact same one, and then you open the curly brackets. So inside here, first and foremost is the color. The color is this one. Now the codes are coming here, they are coming for you. Now it is very easy for you to do it. Background color is this one. I'm just now picking the codes. Then we have margin, as you can see. Let's try 20 px. We'll be adjusting accordingly. Padding, we have 20 px as well. And then we have text align, is centered like that. And then we have font family. Font family is Roboto. We have Roboto as the font family. Then we have font size. The font size is still the biggest one, 26. So let us just see what we have already achieved up to now.
Okay, now we've just covered the 3 elements, the internal CSS, where we've done HTML and CSS in one file, and then we went on next to do the external CSS, where we did HTML in one file, and then we did CSS in another file, and then we linked these two. And then the last bit we did is division class. So thank you so much for staying up to now. See you in our next class.